Hello all, my name is Vivek Gaurav and today we shall solve some problems on Java. This discussion is a part of an overall course on Java where we shall take up a number of problems and solve them. This course is oriented towards placement preparation where similar kind of questions are being asked. So let us have a look at some of the questions. So now I'm sharing my screen with you so that we can go ahead with it. Okay, so now I believe you all can see my screen. Great. So let's go ahead, okay? So now let us debug some questions, okay? So the first question here, as you can see, is that what will be the output of the following program? So here it is saying if public static void main string, if true, and then there is break, right? So most of the people will think like, okay, if true, so it means the condition is going to be true by default. So now what will happen after that is there is a break statement. So there can be a blank line. So most of the people will go with option D, or they might feel like, nothing is going to happen because there is no printf statement. But actually the correct answer is error. Reason being is that as far as break statement is concerned, it is a loop control statement. Break is a loop control statement and it is used to come out of the loop. But here we are using it in a conditional statement. So there will be an error. And if you will look at the answer, actually the answer is break statement can only be used with loop or switch. So using break with if statement causes break outside switch or loop error. So there will be an error. Okay, it was a very straightforward question, but there was a very important trick in that, which was the break statement. Let us have a look at another question. So the second question is, what will be the output of the below code? And it is public static void main. And then we have system.out.println J and then A and then V and then A. So people will go with an option called Java. This is what they feel like, right? Because it is going to concatenate all our string and there is a plus operator and plus operator will concatenate the string. But actually the answer is going to be B, something else other than simple concatenation. And the error is, and the reason for thing is that if you will look at J is written in single quote and not in double quotes. Had it been inside a double quote, the output would have been exact Java. But here what will happen is that you look at it. Java would be printed if string literals in double quotes are used, as I already discussed. But in the question, there is a single carry, single quote. So what is going to happen is that this won't be concatenated. So after execution of the program, an addition of each equivalent ASCII code, that is American Standard Code for information interchange value of the character will be obtained and output is going to be somewhat different. Like, as you can see here, 418. Reason being is that for J, the ASCII value is 106 and for like it starts with 97. For small a, it is 97 and for capital A it is 65. So based on this values it will be there will be an output. Okay, so the correct answer is going to be something else other than the simple concatenation. So let us have a look at the third question. So what will be the output of the below code integer num100, num200, num300, 500, num4 500? So here it is checking now. So now if you will look at here, num1 and num2 are both 100 and num3 and num4 are both 500. So it is checking num1 is equal to num2 equal to. So this is statement num1 is equal to num2 will be printed, right? People will think like that. Then else will not get executed. Now coming to this part, num3 is equal to num4. So this will be printed, right? So this you will get as the output. This is what the expected output is, right? So you will go with which option? You will go. Most of the people will go with option A, right? But here you are missing one thing. Here, if you will notice, it is capital I and T E G E R. It is not I and T. Okay. Now I and T, a small I and T, is a primitive data type, whereas capital I and T E G E R, that is integer, is a wrapper class. Okay. It is a wrapper class. So what happens is that the wrapper class has a range, has a catching. So here it is going to be a catching thing. Okay, and the range of catching is minus 128 to capital one, sorry, minus 128 to positive 127, but we are giving a range of 500, right? We are giving a range of 500, so it won't be cached, and the output, the number 3, num3 is not equal to num4, so the else part will get executed. Okay, so that was the trick here, because most of the people will consider it as integer, but actually it is not an integer, it is a wrapper class. Okay, so that was the difference of it. Okay, most people will get stuck here for sure. Even I would have solved it at the first instance. I would have also got it wrong. Okay, so that was the trick here. Now coming to another question. So let us have a look at this question. It is for int I is equal to 0, which is good enough. Then we have 1 and then we have I plus plus. So people will think like, okay, maybe the termination will happen when the I value of I become 1. So hello will get printed for sure because the loop is going to run at least once, and after that it will encounter the break. So they will go with option B, most people. Or they might feel like, they will use some of their brain. So they will feel like, int, since it is I is equal to 1, so it might go into an infinite kind of loop. So this also, some people will go with this also. But actually, the correct answer is A. The correct answer is going to be A. It is going to be a compile error. And the reason for this is, unlike C++, okay, C++ consider all non-zero values as true and 0 as false. But here what happens is that in Java, you cannot put an integer value in the condition. So here, if you have to write something instead of 1, and you have to write for loop for int I is equal to 0, then you have to write true, and then you have to write I plus plus. You have to write something like this, then it will get executed. Otherwise, what will happen is that if you're writing 1, you are supposed to get a compile error for sure. Okay, so here there will be an error in that. This was indeed a very tricky one. Okay, now let us look at the last question for the day. So here it is saying what will be the output of the below code, and then you have var 1 is equal to 5, and then var 2 is equal to 6, and here it is var 2 is equal to 1 is equal to var 1. Okay, so first of all, if you do not understand what does this mean, you are bound to get it wrong for sure. But in case you know var2 is equal to 1, there are still chances that you will get it wrong. Okay, so now what is happening is that var2 is equal to 1. So the first, it is an assignment operator. So the value of var2 became 1. Now it is comparing it with var1, which is 5. So 1 is not equal to 5. So the else part will get executed. Now coming to else part, it is printing plus plus var2. So what was the value of var2? var2 value was 6. This is what most of the people will think. So it is increment. So they will go with 7. So they will choose the option D, right? But here, what will happen is that you missed a value of var2, which you are assigning over here. You already assigned it 1. Now you are incrementing by 1. So it will become 2. So the correct answer is going to be B. So the correct answer is going to be the B one. Okay, this is the correct option. Look at this. So if a statement var2 is initialized to 1, and then condition is checked whether var2 is equal to var1. And also we know var1 is 5 and var2 is 1. So condition is false, and else part will get executed. And in the execution, you are seeing we are printing the current value of var2, which is 1. So it is 1 is equal to 1 plus 1. You got 2 as the answer. Okay, so that was all. Let me stop the screen sharing now and switch on my camera. So now you understood that how tricky it can be sometimes, right? If you are not careful, if you are not fully prepared, then there are high chances that you will make an error or you will make some mistake. You are thinking that you have solved everything right, but when the result comes, you might not find your name in the list of the selected candidate. And we do not want that to happen. And this is the reason of this course, this whole course. Okay. So during the course, we shall work on similar programs and problems and questions asked in different interviews, different tests by different companies. Okay. And we are going to help you prepare for that so that you can qualify those exams very effortlessly. So I hope you register for the online course, and I'm expecting all of you to see you in our online courses, online sessions. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a great day.